guys, Willie Mayette, creator of Jazz Edge. Welcome to lesson 36 from Jazz Piano Daily. Today we are talking about the jazz piano tritone side slip secret anticipation chord. All right, so let's dive into this and talk, and let me show you what we're talking about here. All right, so be sure to review lessons 34 and 35 before this lesson if you have not already done so. You can see this is our original. We've already talked about this in 34 and 35, so I'm not really going to go through that right now. Instead, we're going to jump right into this tritone slip. All right, so right here, this is really what we're talking about. So we have our F7 chord, okay? And if we go up a half step from our F7 chord, this is actually our tritone that's resolving down to F7. Now I'm going to do another dedicated lesson on tritones, all right? So, but I want to just show you a real quick and dirty way of creating a tritone anticipation into a chord. Okay? So a tritone is an interval, all right? So if it's the halfway point in an octave, okay? So we know that C7 wants to resolve us to F7, right? So we know that that C7 chord goes to the F7 chord. Super great, all right? That's your dominant motion, all right? So that's fantastic. The tritone replaces the C7 chord with its tritone substitution, which basically means don't play the root as C, instead play the root as G flat, right? And make a G flat 7 chord there, okay? So here we have a G flat 7 chord that then resolves down to the F7 chord. Now, another way of looking at this, you might say, hey, wait a second, we just did that half-step side slipping thing. What's the difference between this and that going into G flat to the F, right? Because it's really just up a half step. You'd be absolutely right. So here's the super simple way of finding that tritone. When you are trying to get a tritone substitution to your next chord, this is what you want to do. Number one, you start with your target, okay? So like this will be my target right here. I am trying to get to F7. The chord that comes before it is up a half step from your target, okay? Up a half step from the target. So if I'm trying to get to F7, I go up a half step to G flat 7, and then I resolve down a half step to F7. Again, if you're confused by that, don't worry. We will talk about tritones in a later Jazz Piano Daily lesson. For right now, let's just play it and have some fun with it, okay? So if you get it, great. If you don't get it, please, 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 just don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine, all right? We will get it as we go. So here's C7, and then we go to G flat 7, and take a look at the notes there, then down to F7. So it's literally, if you start with the F7 chord and you move everything up a half step, that's it. That's my G flat 7 chord. Now this one is on the and of 4, so this would be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And that kind of moves a little bit quick there. I would practice that. Just kind of moving back and forth between those two chords. Try moving back and forth between those two chords. All right, let's put on our iReal Pro track here. And if you want the iReal Pro files, just go back to Jazz Piano Daily. I'll explain that a little bit. Great sound. But you know what? Sometimes it sounds good to anticipate like this. Right? And that is exactly what we're doing right here. So now we are anticipating the chord, right? This F7 chord is really happening right here. Oftentimes on the anticipation, we don't write the chord symbol here. Normally we write it on the beat, just because it visually makes it a little bit cleaner to be able to see, especially when you get to the next measure. If you just saw F7 right here and you saw nothing over there, then the question might be like, well, wait, what is this chord? Because it's a new measure. This is why we write the chord symbol on the beat and not on the anticipation, right? That's pretty typical. Sometimes you'll see it the other way, but 1 and 2, and 3, and 4, and so 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and. All right, so let's play this along with the band, and I'm going to put it on 100 beats per minute, and you just go ahead and play it along with me. Try just doing the right hand if you have to. Let's do the right hand. Left hand. Together. Roll it. Watch this. You're going to have a lot of fun with these chords. Again, big, big, big sounding chords. So be sure to work on them. Now, a word of caution. If it is kind of like a big stretch for you, sometimes you might think like, oh, an octave is easy. But, you're adding in that extra note in there. If you find that that's a little too much for you with the bell tone, then leave out that extra note. Just try doing the octave, okay? You could hear that extra note in there really doesn't add a lot. So you could just do the octave by itself, and then what I'm saying here is just leave out these middle notes, okay? So leave out that middle note. Boom, boom, gone, 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 gone. All right, take out that middle note and just play those outside notes. All right, so now let's say that even that is like, oh boy, even playing that octave after a while, that gets to be too much. Well, guess what? You can just do that as well. Play the top two notes or the bottom two, right? That's a fifth. Okay? Now, when you do that and you do that along with the backing track, take a listen to that. Now, you're going to tell me that's not a big, jazzy sounding chord? You bet it is, all right? That's a great sounding chord right there. So don't feel as though you have to put in all these notes. Always go by your own body, all right? So if you find that, oh man, I'm creating tension there, that hurts, okay, change that. Don't do that, all right? Don't do anything that's going to cause you pain. And sure as heck, do not think, oh, I'm just going to work through it. No, no, no. You don't work through the pain at the piano. It's different if you're lifting weights or something, fine. But at the piano, we don't work through the pain. Pain means stop and readjust, all right? So anyway, if that's better for you, take off the top note, or take off the bottom note. Whichever way works best for you. Know that these are your lessons, these are your voicings. Change them around as you see fit. You don't want to do all these notes? Take and just do 3 notes. I love that sound. I think it's a great sound, right? So alter the voicings as you see fit that works best for you and for your situation. All right, so now if you are interested in grabbing the sheet music for today's lesson, just go back to jazzpianodaily.com or take a look at the card that just popped up in the top right on YouTube. You can follow that card as well. And please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on notifications. You know the drill, okay, if you've seen it by now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, and quite frankly, you're interested in jazz piano, I don't know why you wouldn't have subscribed to the channel. I've given you so much content for absolutely free. So if you like what I'm giving to you, then I ask that you please subscribe to the channel. That's kind of like a reciprocity thing, all right? So I'll give you this stuff for free, you subscribe to the channel, and then we're all good, okay? So that's all I'm asking for you. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe because that lets me know that I'm on the right track with these lessons and I'm giving you stuff of value. All right, so that's it for me. Thanks, guys. I'll see you back at Jazz Piano Daily. Take care.